Hi, everybody. I'm Weldon with Weldon PC, and today we're going to be covering the cybersecurity essentials. Today is November 14th, 2023. Thank you for tuning in, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or on our website. Thank you very much for taking the time to be with us today. I'm going to start screen sharing here. And at any point, if there's a problem with the audio, please feel free to unmute and let us know so we can make adjustments. So we're going to be covering a basic introduction to cybersecurity, why it matters, some of the common cyber threats, ways to keep yourself safe, and we're going to have a Q&A session at the end of our PowerPoint today. Cybersecurity is the superhero that protects us in the online world. Really, that person is you. Cybersecurity starts with the person using the computer. It does not start with the antivirus or malware protection that is out there. You wouldn't want to let somebody into your home by telling them, hey, you wouldn't want to advertise, hey, I'm not home, like if you were at a funeral or leaving town. So obviously you would want to lock your doors. The same thing kind of holds true with your computer. So that's why we're going to cover some of the practices to protect your digital space.
Meet Anne. She often shops from www.shoppingcart.com. She has her information like email ID, address, and credit card details saved on the website to enable a faster and hassle-free shopping experience. The required information is stored in a server. One day, Anne received an email which stated her eligibility for a special discount voucher from shoppingcart.com. In order to receive the coupon code, she was asked to fill in her shoppingcart.com account credentials. This didn't seem fishy to her at the time, as she thought it was just an account verification step. Little did she realize the danger she would be facing. She was knocked off her feet when a substantial amount of money was wiped off her account. How do you think this happened? Well, yes, the email she received was fake. Anne's shoppingcart.com account witnessed unauthorized access from a third party. This type of attack is known as a cyber attack, and the person who carries it out is called a hacker. Could Anne have prevented this attack? Indeed, she could have, with the help of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity involves techniques that help in securing various digital components, networks, data, and computer systems from unauthorized digital access. There are multiple ways to implement cybersecurity, depending on the kind of network you are connected to and the type of cyber attacks you are prone to. So, let's take a look at the various cyber attacks that Anne could have been exposed to. One of the most common types of cyber attacks is a malware attack like Trojan, adware, and spyware, to name a few. Had Anne downloaded any suspicious attachments online, her system could have gotten corrupted by certain malicious viruses embedded within the attachments. Next is a phishing attack, the type of cyber attack which Anne experienced. Here, the hacker usually sends fraudulent emails, which appear to be coming from a legitimate source. This is done to install malware or to steal sensitive data like credit card information and login credentials. Another type of attack is the man-in-the-middle attack. Here, the hacker gains access to the information path between Anne's device and the website's server. The hacker's computer takes over Anne's IP address. By doing so, the communication line between Anne and the website is secretly intercepted. This commonly happens with unsecured Wi-Fi networks and also through malware. Password attack is one of the easiest ways to hack a system. Here, Anne's password could have been cracked by using either common passwords or trying all possible alphabetical combinations. To prevent future cyber attacks, Anne sought to implement a few cybersecurity practices. First, she installed a firewall. As the name suggests, it is a virtual wall between Anne's computer and the internet. Firewalls filter the incoming and outgoing traffic from your device to safeguard your network, and they can either be software applications or hardware reinforcements. Secondly, Anne implemented honeypots. Just like how flowers attract bees, dummy computer systems, called honeypots, are used to attract attackers. These systems are made to look vulnerable in order to deceive attackers, and this, in turn, defends the real system. In addition to these, she also decided to use unique alphanumeric passwords, antivirus software, and started avoiding mails from unknown senders. That was Anne's story. Cyber attacks are not just confined to individuals, but also to public and private organizations. The cyber attacks carried out in such places are more deadly, and they result in colossal losses. Motives of such attacks are many, starting from tampering with crucial data to monetary gains. Let's have a look at a few of the cyber attacks that companies are subjected to. Various public sector organizations and large corporations face the Advanced Persistent Threat, APT. In this form of attack, hackers gain access to networks for a prolonged period in order to continuously gain confidential information. Companies also witness the denial of service attack, where networks are flooded with traffic, which in turn leaves legitimate service requests unattended. A variant of this is the distributed denial of service, DDoS attack, when multiple systems are used to launch the attack. When a hacker manipulates a standard SQL query in a database-driven website, it is known as a SQL injection attack. By doing so, hackers can view, edit, and delete tables from databases. Amidst a plethora of cyber attacks, it is indeed a challenge for organizations with several networks and servers to ensure complete security. This is not an easy task, and to help with this, cybersecurity professionals are hired to work on identifying cyber threats and securing a company's network. There are multiple job roles in the field of cybersecurity. If hacking fascinates you, then the role of an ethical hacker is something to be explored. Such professionals try to exploit a network's vulnerabilities, just like how a hacker would do, but only to identify those vulnerabilities and resolve them for protection against an actual cyber attack. But if you are looking to design robust security structures, then the role of a security architect is more apt. A Chief Information Security Officer, CISO, plays a crucial role in enterprise security and is entrusted with the overall safety of the information in an organization. So, here's a question for you. Identify the type of cyber attack where the hacker's system takes over the client's IP address. A. DDoS attack. B. Man-in-the-middle attack. C. Phishing attack. D. Password attack. Give it a thought and leave your answers in the comments section below. 3 lucky winners will receive Amazon gift vouchers. With the increase in the production of global digital data, it is anticipated that cyber attacks will quadruple in the near future. Organizations are going to need cybersecurity professionals who can prevent these attacks. A career in the field of cybersecurity is lucrative and a very smart decision for professionals now. So, what are you waiting for? Get certified with Simplilearn and become a cybersecurity expert.
So that's the basics of what cybersecurity attacks are out there. So some things you can do to protect yourself is make sure you do have some kind of shield in place, like I know there's like a LifeLock. There's a few of those out there, but I think LifeLock is the big one. But also monitoring your credit score is always a good thing too. And there's some other ways you can go about securing your online digital presence. So malware is something that gets loaded into your computer that you don't want to have happen. Phishing is really the kind of man in the middle that they were talking about. And what they do is they send you out, a bunch of emails, or they call you on the phone. Like I had one time where they called and said, "Hey, you didn't pay your electric bill," and it sounded legit. And I'm like, "Well, okay, I'll pay the electric bill." And I start reading the guy off information, and I realized kind of midway through a credit card number that the phone number wasn't right. And they caught me at a stressful point of the day, and there was a lot of things going on here at the office. And I hung up and dialed the number back, and it was an out of service number. Well, obviously it was not, because I called the electric company and verified that my electric wasn't overdue. And so, I mean, phishing is not just a computer issue. It can also be a phone call. It can be somebody coming up to you in a store that has a device. You may hear these days called a flipper, and it'll read the credit card numbers off of your credit cards just by bumping into your pocket where your wallet is, or your purse where you may have your credit cards at. And then hackers, really, it's not a guy behind a computer anymore. I mean, artificial intelligence is going to replace the hacker. All you got to do is have a little bit of knowledge, and that's of artificial intelligence to use that to hack. It's kind of getting a little spooky out there with what we can do with artificial intelligence and hacking. So ways to stay safe. Strong passwords is critical, especially when you're using capital and lowercase letters. Try to use symbols. Don't use things like your address, your birthday, pets' names, or anything like that. That's pretty easy to get into. One of the best ways to protect yourself is two-factor authentication. I have an app on my phone, which is what two-factor authentication is. And you bring the app up and it gives you, for instance, Facebook. When I go to log into Facebook, it says, okay, enter your username, enter your password. And then it asks you for a security code. Well, that code's in my Authenticator app. And I plug that code in and it lets me into Facebook. So even if somebody had my username and password, if they don't have that code, they can't get in. And to try to hack a two-factor authentication is very, very difficult to do. And one major thing that has always been an issue is keeping your software up to date. Whether you're a PC user or a Mac user, or if we're talking about an Android phone, or if we're talking about an Apple iPhone, keeping your software up to date is very important. It's also a double-edged sword when we're talking about mobile devices, because you have things that you've heard about in the news lately, like built-in obsolescence, where Apple will put out an update, but it drains your battery. So that stuff is out there. It is something to contend with. It's better the devil you do than the devil you don't, or however that saying goes. So try to keep your software up to date. If you're not a Windows 10 or 11 user, I urge you to strongly consider getting that done. And then once you get to Windows 11, make sure you run your updates once a week. I recommend doing them 6 days late, just to keep the updates with good intention at the back of the pack. You kind of want to. I do all my updates for all my clients with the managed service that we do. I keep everybody 6 days late. That way, if something crashes the day that it happens, we don't have to wait a week to get everybody fixed. Anyway, it's a little side note there. Ways to stay safe. Make sure your Wi-Fi network is secure. In this day and age, your internet service providers such as AT&T, Spectrum, BreezeLine, they all scan your network once every blue moon. I'll say once a quarter. And if you don't have adequate security, they're generally reaching out to you with some kind of letter saying, we need you to secure your Wi-Fi network or we may deny your service. They can do that. The most important thing you could do is always keep a backup of your data. If your computer crashes, or if you get into a car accident, your computer's in your car, and your computer's destroyed, and you have a flash drive with your backup, or even better, you've got a cloud backup of your data somewhere, like in our office, you have a secondary copy so that if your computer is destroyed physically or in a software way, or if it's compromised with an attack, you have a backup of your data. And always keep your social media privacy settings up to date. Make sure you don't have out there items you don't want people to see. Make sure that you don't put things out there that you think people can't see, because they can. So make sure you're reviewing your social media privacy settings. Other things you can do is to stay secure is to monitor your online transactions. If you have the ability of using a virtual card instead of a physical credit card, such as Capital One, they have a virtual credit card so that you can kind of burn that number. You use it once, use it twice, and then burn the credit card number. So then that way nobody can reuse that credit card number. It can be used one and done. That way nobody can steal that credit card information and do anything with it. And there's always updates to cybersecurity and what's being done, especially with the introduction of artificial intelligence in the late 2022 year. Keep up to date with what's going on in the cybersecurity. We're here to help as always. We're always available for questions by phone, by email, stopping in our weekly Zoom appointments like we have tonight. Make sure you check our website frequently because we do put out safety bulletins as far as cybersecurity attacks or strange outages that we find. We do occasionally see something that is concerning that we want everybody to be aware of. So if you have any questions, feel free to unmute or put in the chat some thoughts you might have. Be happy to hear, happy to share.
Those are, I think it's the initials are RFID sleeves that you put your credit cards in so they can't be scanned.
Correct.
Are those good? I mean,
yeah, generally speaking, those are good. And the other thing is just keeping some distance. So even if I mean, obviously Carolyn is going to be carrying a purse. So if she has her credit card in a bigger purse, just having it in there in, I'm told alligator skin, an alligator skin wallet, you don't need to have anything special there. But if you're not sure with what material your wallet is made out of, there are RFID proof wallets that are out there, and those do help in the prevention of some of those attacks.
Okay. Also, the last few days, I keep getting a pop-up on my phone saying you've won an iPad Pro. Click on this link, and I keep, this is on my phone. I keep closing the window, and then I go to settings and clearing my cache, my cookies and all that. And then I'm playing a game, and the pop-up comes again. So how do you get rid of that? How do you?
That is one of those things that I would like to talk to you about one-on-one. I'm going to ask you to give my office a call as soon as this is over. We should talk about that a little bit more, because if you're having that happen, that actually is, whether it be malware or spyware or a phishing attack, that's something we need to address outside of what we're doing here. But I will help you with that, because that's not a quick, clear. That's not like a one size fits all kind of a deal. I assume you're using an Android phone.
No, it's an iPhone.
Okay. I need to talk to you about that. For security reasons, I don't want to go into any more of that on this call.
Okay, no problem.
Just because I don't want anybody to compromise what you've got going on.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, I can take a look at that. That should be 5 minutes at the counter. I'll show you what to do.
I just need to do a screenshot next time I get it.
Yeah, please do, because that'll give us a lot of information when you come in.
Okay. So you want me to come in for that, not over the phone?
Yeah, stop in. I think I need to see that.
Okay.
Yeah, let me take a peek at that and we'll see what I can do.
All right. Next time I get it, I'll screenshot it, see if you're there, and I'll come on up.
That works.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right. Well, as always, I want to thank you for stopping. My name is Weldon from Weldon PC. If you have any computer problems, feel free to give us a call at 888-7-WELDON. That's 888-7-WELDON. We're open noon to 8 Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard Time. We're located right here in Garfield Heights. We do have some remote capabilities for most devices. If you're in the cybersecurity realm, I probably would say it'd be best if we talk to you one-on-one. From everybody.
There's something in the chat. There's something in the chat.
Oh, there's something in the chat. Give me 1 second. Okay, so there was a question that said, what about using VPN networks? Are they safe to use? Do they keep you invisible while you're online? What about DuckDuckGo or a different start page? So let's break this down, because you do have a couple things here. So using a VPN, there is a VPN stands for a virtual private network. Okay, so what a VPN does is it connects your computer into another network by way of a secure tunnel. Now, I want to be careful in telling you what that means. If you're using a VPN to do things like downloading movies or downloading games, that's copywritten material. Okay, so if you're using a VPN to try to shield yourself from being found out on downloading things that you shouldn't be downloading, like a video game or whatever. And I'm talking illegally downloading, not something you legitimately purchase. So if you're trying to pirate music or videos or games and use a VPN network, remember that your computer has to go to the modem provided by your internet service provider, AT&T, Spectrum, or Cox. From the modem, it still has to go to a Spectrum location before that signal is transmitted outside. They are able to monitor some things in the traffic that would dictate that you are trying to download an MP3, that you're trying to download a large video game file. And you can still be found out if you're doing something with a VPN. Things that a VPN would be good for. The reason why you would want a VPN is if you want to do something in your office from a remote location, you secure your network by setting a VPN up. So your computer at home in, let's say in Florida, you're located in Cleveland and your remote location is Florida, and you want that computer in Florida to act like it's hooked into the computer here in Cleveland. You set the VPN up in Florida and it connects into the computer in Cleveland, into the server in Cleveland, and it gives you the ability of doing some very secure things. Obviously, nothing illegitimate is going on because you're just doing normal day-to-day work. So this is secure, and that would be the really one of the only reasons why you would want a VPN. Things like NordVPN, I can't understand why people are using them. It slows you down. It doesn't offer the security that they sell you that it should be offering you. I have been advising a majority of my residential or non-commercial customers to stay away from a VPN. A non-commercial customer would, if I'm sitting at home on my computer and I want to VPN into something, the only reason I would VPN into another network is to have them filter my network traffic. So if I go to one of these VPN companies, they're intercepting all my traffic. So not only does my internet service provider see it, but now I'm giving access to whoever is at this VPN company, which doesn't make any sense to me. I would tell you that if you're in a non-commercial environment, cancel the subscription. It's pointless. I don't see the need. I don't find the value in it for anybody. To continue on, are they safe to use? It depends on which VPN service you're using and why you're using it. Again, I'm not a proponent of non-commercial users using a VPN. I don't see if you're not VPNing in to do something, you're just giving somebody else more access to what you're doing. Do they keep you invisible while you're online? Absolutely not. Do not let anybody sell you that getting online in any way, shape, or form makes you invisible. It doesn't. If you're on the internet, you're visible. If you connect to a network, whether it's at a Starbucks, in the privacy of your own home, in a hotel room, you're on a network that other people can sniff. There's tools out there. We employ these tools for ethical hacking purposes. If you're in the same geographic area, I can sniff the couple blocks around my office here, and I can see what computers are online, and I can see some security vulnerabilities that people don't often know they have. So are you safe? No, and I'm not out here to do harm. So are you invisible when you're using a VPN online? Absolutely not. You are visible. What about DuckDuckGo or a different start page? So DuckDuckGo should be treated like Google or Yahoo or AOL's homepage, for example, or MSN for that matter. Everybody's familiar with MSN because on a Microsoft or PC-based computer, when you first install Windows, generally speaking, MSN is the first thing that comes up. DuckDuckGo bills that they don't record or save any of your personal data. They say that. I don't see anything that tells me otherwise. I personally don't like DuckDuckGo because I don't get good search results, so I've just steered clear of it, and I stay with Google. Google seems to do the job that I need it to do, and it does it with no fuss, and I just don't have an issue with it. So hopefully that answers some of the questions that you've asked in the chat window. Does anybody else have any, did I answer your question first? I should probably ask that.
Yes, thank
All
you.
right, wonderful. All right. If there's anything I can do, I'm always of service. I'm here noon to 8, Monday through Friday, closed on the weekends. Feel free to give us a call or stop in. We're at 5829 Turney Road. And as always, from everybody here at Weldon PC, I want to thank you for stopping in tonight and have a good night.